Good morning, New York fans. Thank you for tuning in to another session of Knicks Couch Report here on Knicks Bros TV. I'm going to need you guys' help going forward. Here's the thing. I need some ideas from you guys. This channel is meant for all my subscribers. Again, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for just keeping a nice conversation going. Again, the intention for this channel, for my brother and I, is we love New York sports, and we like the fact that people tune in and kind of chime in on the conversations, the topics we bring up. So very much appreciated. So the help that I'm asking for you guys going forward is, I've seen other YouTubers do this, and I like how there's a good chemistry between the viewers and us. Meaning going forward, I'd like to do a live session on Google Hangout. You guys tell me what day works best. I'll try to work with it. I like to do it mainly like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, something that it's not like a Saturday or Sunday. But again, you guys tell me what you think. If you got any show name ideas, go ahead and write down at the comments below, and I'd love to kind of hear it from you guys, what you guys think, what you guys want to see, what you guys want me to talk about most. Now, I'm a passionate Jets and New York Knicks fan. I like the Mets as well. And then my brother, for the most part, covers the Giants and the Yankees. He's been very busy with work, so I'm trying to hold down the fort as much as I can. I apologize for the couple of days delay, but here we go, guys. There's a lot to talk about. A lot of things I want to talk about as far as NBA playoff is concerned. I heard this on occasion about how rigged the NBA is, and it's easy for everybody to constantly come up with, certain controversies and, always complain about, the final and who's in it and yada, yada, yada. I get it. I'm a Knicks fan. Here's the thing, guys. I was watching the Atlanta Hawks versus Cleveland Cavaliers. Don't quote me on this, but I believe it was Game 5. No, I'm sorry. Game 3. Where that incident happened with Al Horford being ejected out of the game. Now, I forgot the Cleveland Cavaliers player's name, but basically he's been known to, quote-unquote, play dirty. I don't necessarily think he's playing dirty. I think he's playing hard, and a lot of guys are banking on this in the NBA. Prigioni, pretty clutch player, but he makes a living in the NBA because he's the type that hustles. And there's a lot more guys like that in the league. So I don't think he's a dirty player. But do I feel like at the back of Al Horford's mind, he's sitting there, well, he tried going at Crover's ankles the other day. Maybe he's doing the same thing to me. That shouldn't have been an ejection at all. I don't think it was that severe. And the reason why I am more convinced of my own argument is because we saw, what's his name, Dwight Howard do even such a worst of an elbow. It was just like the one that Meta World Peace did to Harden a couple of years back. That's how bad it was, I thought. And he didn't get ejected. Basically, my argument is the NBA has been wanting to have the Cavaliers and the Warriors play each other. That's it. Now, with that being said, that kind of scares me to see, to know a little bit further about how the NBA, lottery works. Last video I talked about how I didn't like the fact that there's a separate room where we don't get to see the drawings or anything like that. How can I trust that system? I don't know. You guys leave me your comments. Let me know what you think. But I felt like this. Nobody wants to watch the Hawks versus the Rockets. I do. Now, again, do I feel like the Warriors and the Cavs deserve to be there? Yeah, of course. They're a much better team. Of course they are. I'm excited for the matchup too. But what I'm trying to say is the officials have to stop messing up the game. Because the Hawks could have made a nice series out of it if Al Horford would have stayed in that game. Things might have been different. Last video that I made, I was kind of bitter about having the fourth pick. I expected more. If we would have lost the last couple of games, we would have put ourselves in a good position to maybe had a better chance. Maybe we could have been the Timberwolves. Maybe we could have had the first pick. Now that I sit back and kind of think about it, sure, you're in the driver's seat, but at the same time, there's a lot of pressure. You pick the wrong player, ends up being a bust, yada, yada, yada. So here we go. We have the 4th pick. I'm starting to like Moutier more and more as I watch his highlights, get to know him a little bit. I feel like that's a pretty decent pickup. I did want Towns to begin with. I think if we build our team as a big physical team, we can definitely do more damage. But no, maybe us acquiring Moutier would give us that speed we've been lacking on the court. And it'll be a nice little chemistry between him and Carmelo Anthony. But again, I will say this again to you guys. If we draft Towns, if we draft Moutier, if we draft whomever, our team still comes down to Carmelo Anthony and his leadership. Is he going to make guys better around him? Is he going to have a better vision on the court like LeBron does? I'm not a LeBron fan whatsoever, but man, when you watch that game, you watch that entire series, that guy, it's not necessarily he makes other guys better around him. He brings that double coverage on himself, and he's got a good vision on the court and is able to make those passes to maybe a J.R. Smith or Iman Shumpert. I mean, those guys look like all-stars around LeBron. In New York, they were bums. They were bums. JR was a bum. Iman Shumpert couldn't make a three-pointer to save his life. But every game in that series, I'm cheering on for those guys because once a Knick, always a Knick. So that's how I feel about the draft pick. I'm starting to like Moutier. Hopefully we make the right decision, whomever it might be. There's some free agency rumors that are coming out, and these are a couple of speculations that's been kind of coming out over the past months. But the most latest one is Phil Jackson's interest in Paul Millsap and Carroll of the Hawks. Going back to the Hawks here. I like Paul Millsap. 6'8", 253 pounds, 16.7 points per game. He's a pretty decent player. He's had a pretty decent career. He's had a hell of a season. The only thing that worries me about Paul Millsap is that he's 30 years old. Now, I'm a firm believer of having young guys and older veterans in your team. That's usually your championship team. We looked at the 2003-2004 Lakers. You got veterans and young guys. Look at the San Antonio Spurs. Young guys and veterans. So that's fine with me. But when I sit there and think about, okay, we're sitting to think about Paul Millsap and Carroll. Okay, I'm hoping Carroll he's being considered to come off the bench, not as a starter. And Millsap, I can consider him as a starter, but I'm still going for Greg Monroe. Greg Monroe, to me, has got more size and plays more defense. That's what we need on this team. Remember, guys, one of the biggest things we lacked last year was defense. Again, going back to Carmelo Anthony, you got to play defense. I'm telling you, whomever we draft, whomever we get into free agency, it falls back on Carmelo Anthony. I'm sorry. You make the big bucks. You got to make players better around you. You got to have a better vision on the court. You got to play defense. So, again, if it was up to me, if we did draft Moutier, which would be a point guard position, I would go for Greg Monroe. And I wouldn't mind considering maybe a Millsap. I don't know about Carroll. But again, he does bring that defensive mentality to our team. But still, though, does that really get you excited for the next season? Does it? I was thinking maybe of like Aldridge or something. But that's fine. We got some young pieces, and that's what it comes down to. I'm hoping the Greek Freak can step up, make a name for himself like his brother in Milwaukee. I'm hoping, Early can step up, and Hardaway. There's a lot of pressure on Hardaway. Hardaway's got to make it next season. He's got to be your clutch guy. He's got to be your J.R. Smith of Cleveland Cavaliers next season. That's my take. You guys let me know what you think. As far as the New York Jets are concerned, I'm loving every piece. I mean, I love the way Todd Bowles addresses the media. He came out and clarified the quarterback situation, saying it's still, hey, it's an open position for anyone. Fitzpatrick and Geno Smith, let them go at it. I'm totally fine with it. I'm loving the leadership that Brandon Marshall is bringing to the team. He basically talked about how the defense is where it needs to be. It's us as an offense that need to, have a better chemistry and step up to the OTAs week-to-week basis. He's challenging Cromartie over Twitter and social media. I love it. Let them poke at each other and go at it at the training camp. That all creates chemistry off the field, which is really good for on the field. Shelton Richardson came out and addressed the fans. I can totally agree with Shelton Richardson. Those are they're not mandatory practices. Practice? I'm just kidding. But those are optional, whether if you want to go to them or not. And I love how the media blows things up, because I perfectly watched the Todd Bowles press conference. They asked him about it, and he said, it's optional. He decides to spend time with his family. People have lives outside of football. And I remember the next article I read, it said something about Shelton Richardson didn't step up or come to the game, or Todd Bowles doesn't know why he didn't come. And if you just read those articles, you don't hear it exactly from Todd Bowles, you would think that there's something going on, and there isn't. I get it. Listen, players literally from June all the way till February are playing football. You get 3 to 4 months to their families, let them have it. Us regular Joes, we complain about working 5 days a week. They got some time to themselves, let them enjoy it. Now, the only argument that I have with Shelton Richardson is you're a second-year player. Wouldn't you think maybe you want to go to those practices? He's the type of guy, he's got tremendous, high self-esteem, which I can respect. But as a second-year player, you want to take advantage as much as you can to learn, get together with the team, build some chemistry. But again, if you want to enjoy it with your family, that's fine. But come September, you better show up. That's how I feel as a fan. So that's that on the Jets. A little bit on the baseball side. I'm going to be very honest with you guys with work and how long the baseball season is, and the fact that I'm not in the tri-state area currently because of a job and everything. It's very difficult to watch the Mets. Very up and down so far. We did sweep the Phillies. Going to be playing the Marlins. David Wright's a little frustrating for me just because he just can't seem to stay healthy. The New York Rangers are going to be playing Game 7 against the Thunder. That's exciting. That's a Madison Square Garden team. So any day I'm rooting for it. So overall, it is what it is. You guys leave me your comments, leave me your thoughts. That's just me kind of talking to you guys, sharing my feelings with some of the things that I've seen in New York sports. Again, leave me your ideas. Please comment, subscribe, and share. And please look out for some sort of a New York Knicks pre-draft hype or maybe after-draft hype. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.
Fake thug, no love, you get the slug, CB4 gusto.